All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a really cool scientific breakthrough that could make our homes healthier and our industries a whole lot greener. And it's all about rethinking the very glue that holds our modern world together.
I know, it sounds a little weird, right? Is my bookshelf polluting my air? But think about it. So much of our furniture, bookshelves, desks, kitchen cabinets, is made from wood panels that are literally glued together. And it turns out, those glues have been quietly releasing chemicals into the air we breathe.
So let's uncover this toxic secret. It's a hidden ingredient that's been the go-to, the absolute workhorse of the wood industry for decades.
And the culprit has a name: Phenol Formaldehyde resin, or just PF resin for short. Now, this stuff is a beast. It's super strong, it's water-resistant, which is exactly why you find it everywhere. But it comes with some pretty serious hidden costs.
So, here's the deal with this PF resin. First off, it's made from fossil fuels, specifically phenol and formaldehyde. Not great. But the bigger problem for you and me? It's constantly off-gassing these things called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, right into your home. This is a huge source of indoor air pollution, and the source paper for this explainer links long-term exposure to all kinds of nasty health issues and even a potential cancer risk. Yikes.
Yeah, so we definitely need a better way to do this. And believe it or not, scientists found a potential hero in the most unlikely place: a giant pile of what is essentially industrial waste.
Let me introduce you to lignin. It's basically the stuff that makes plants and trees stand up straight. Their natural skeleton, you could say. And here's the kicker. Every single time paper is made, tons and tons of lignin are left over as a waste product. We are literally talking about one of the most abundant organic materials on Earth, just sitting there. Okay, so if this stuff is everywhere, what's the catch? Why isn't all our furniture already made with it? Well, the problem is that in its natural state, lignin is kind of lazy. It has really low reactivity, which means it doesn't form strong bonds very easily. And for years, the methods scientists tried to wake it up were just too harsh, too wasteful, and way too expensive to be practical on a big scale.
But, and this is a big but, that's where this new research completely changes the game. Scientists figured out a way to unlock lignin's hidden potential that is just shockingly simple and green.
And you won't believe how straightforward the process is. Seriously, they just mix the lignin into a specific solution, stir it at room temperature for a while, and that's pretty much it. This simple step activates the lignin, getting it ready to form strong bonds. But here's the real genius move. The solution they create can be used directly to make the new glue. No expensive, wasteful purification steps. You just mix it and go. Don't just take my word for it. The researchers themselves put it perfectly in their paper. Using the solution directly avoids all that extra separation, which prevents waste and keeps costs down. That's what makes this a real-world solution, not just a lab experiment.
Of course, the theory is great, but you know, an idea is only as good as its results. It was time to put this new glue to the test. Let's see how it actually stacks up against the old stuff.
And to do that, they use this thing. It's a specialized environmental chamber. You can basically think of it as a super high-tech, sealed-up room where they can put a piece of plywood and measure every single molecule that comes off it. It perfectly simulates what's happening in your house, but with incredible precision.
First up, the strength test. Is this new stuff strong enough for the job? And the answer is a huge yes. Check this out. The industry standard is just 0.7 megapascals. The old-school glue clocks in at 1.21, but the new, greener glue, it's actually a tiny bit stronger at 1.24. So not only is it green, it performs just as well, if not better. All right, now for the main event, the air quality. The new lignin-based glue slashed total harmful VOC emissions by nearly 30%. I mean, that is a huge win for the air inside our homes. But let's dig a little deeper. What does that number actually mean? What really changed in the air? Okay, so if you were to analyze the air coming off that old standard plywood, this is what you'd find. A big chunk, almost 40%, is made up of something called alkanes. Now, the main one here is hexane, which is a chemical you really don't want to be breathing in long term. Now, take a look at the air from the new plywood. See the difference? Wow, those nasty alkanes? Almost completely gone. The whole chemical signature has shifted towards things that are much less of a concern for our health. So it's not just fewer emissions, it's fundamentally safer emissions. So the scientists took this one step further. They actually calculated the health risk using a standard model called the total carcinogenic risk, or TCR.
Now let's be clear, both of these scores fall into a category the EPA would consider a probable risk. But look at the numbers. The new glue's score is lower. It's not zero risk, but it is a real measurable improvement, a concrete step in a much safer direction.
So let's pull all of this together. What does a breakthrough like this, a greener glue, actually mean for us and for the planet?
While for you, it means cleaner air in your house and less exposure to risky chemicals. For the industry, it's a win-win, a cheaper, more sustainable material to work with. For the planet, it's a no-brainer, less dependence on fossil fuels. And really, for the future, it's a beautiful example of the circular economy, taking a huge stream of industrial waste and turning it into something incredibly valuable.
And that really brings us to the big idea here, doesn't it? This whole thing was about way more than just glue. It's a proof of concept. If we can solve the problem of toxic furniture by looking at waste from the paper industry, just imagine what other amazing solutions are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to discover them.